Steve Taylor. Buying a new house can be exciting and stressful. That's why Watson Realty should be your #1 choice when you're searching for that perfect home. Now's the time. Carl Black GMC is the place. All 2012 models.
The three most important things at the end of the day for me is making sure I see my wife, my children, and my dog. And that is the way I spend my evening.
With Steve, I've worked with Steve when the Walmart was my past job and KLAZ was purchased from the Walmart about 2.5 years ago. And so I've been working with him ever since we became a part of US stations, so for 2.5 years.
Not everybody can actually, anybody can be a voice, right? Anybody can maybe be a character voice or something like that. To be a narrator, to be somebody who is the voice of a radio station, male or female, that's difficult.
No, I think when you're in Steve's position, it's a different type of creativity because what he does is almost totally different. They hand him a script and they say, we want you to read this, and you want us to read it in a certain way. And there is some creativity to it because it is a creative job. But at the end of the day, when somebody hands you a script, it's a lot different, and it can, especially for people like Steve and I who are very creative, it can be very difficult.
You have to do this job with an open mind. And what I mean by that is sometimes as part of your profession you may have to read something you don't believe in, or you may have to read something that doesn't push you the right way. It may be something that trumps on a sensitive part, so to speak. When you're starting in this business, it's not a good idea to turn down work because people remember when you say, I don't want to do that. So that's the thing getting into it that I find the difficult part is sometimes you have to read stuff you don't want to read. Learn how to say a lot of words. Most people only have about 10,000 words in the vocabulary. It's a good idea to have over 40,000 in your vocabulary, because your feelings and emotions don't matter when you enter the voice booth. You have to put all of that aside and you have to concentrate on the work in front of you, and that's all you can do. How many commercials have I done? 40,000 or more in my lifetime, and I've been doing this for 30 years. It's over 40,000. I think the most widespread one I did was for Chilling Tales for Dark Nights. It was a story called The Curious Case of Lolo Marino, which was this old detective guy.
My name is
Chicago
Detective Matthew Price.
Wherever he was.
I've been a cop for close to 3 decades. For the last few years, I've worked in the 8th Precinct Homicide Division. A staff of around 250,000 people can't compete with the murder rate of New York City, but we see our fair share of cases. To be honest, homicides are usually easy to solve. You don't have to look too far to find a killer because...
This is the most financially rewarding job I've ever had. I work less doing what I do than at any job I've ever had. Not at the radio stations. I do the radio station work, and it's an all-day job. But the voiceover work I do for myself and for you and for my family is all at will. And I meet everybody in the business that is important, and those people influence you, and their attitudes influence you. For instance, the Oscars were last night, from when we're recording this anyway. And you'll remember the Oscars didn't have a host this year. And the only thing that carried you from place to place during the Oscars was a voice. And her name is Randy Michaels. And she's been doing the Academy Awards for a number of years. Voiceover is still the most important thing in radio and television and film because it can be more impactful than any image that you could ever see. That's why this job is so important to me, and that's why I've kept doing it, and that's why I love it, and I'll keep doing it. It's the best thing I've ever done.